Hello children, welcome back to the class. Today in this session, we will discuss the 9th chapter from your honeycomb text. This story is written by Jerome K. Jerome. The writer wishes to go on a bicycle ride. Whether he has gone on a bicycle ride or his bicycle was in repair, or what was the outcome of this plan, let us now understand in this chapter. But before that, let us know about our writer Jerome K. Jerome, and then understand this chapter, A Bicycle in Good Repair. As you can see here, these are all the books written by Jerome K. Jerome. He has not only written lot of books but also comics, which you can see here in this slide. Jerome Klapka Jerome was an English writer and humorist, best known for the comic travelogue Three Men in a Boat, which was published in 1889. The other works of Jerome include the essay collection Idle Thoughts of an Idle Fellow in 1886 and Second Thoughts of an Idle Fellow, Three Men on the Boat, on the Bumble, a sequel to Three Men in a Boat, and several other novels. Jerome also wrote a number of plays. A book of Jerome's memories, like My Life and Time, was published in 1926. So this was about our writer. Now let us understand the story, that is A Bicycle in Good Repair. If we wish to go on a long bicycle ride, the bicycle should be in a good condition. If possible, an expert mechanic should overhaul it. But what happens if the machine has a will of its own and the mechanic knows next to nothing? So this is the introduction given there in your text on page number 126. So here it tries to describe that if someone wishes to go on a bicycle ride, and what will happen if you have an expert with you who is trying to repair this cycle so that it is in a proper condition. So what was the experience of this bicycle ride? Let us now understand. So one of the author's friend suggested that the two should go for a bicycle ride. The next day, the author reached the place half an hour before his friend and was waiting for him in the garden. So when he was waiting for his friend in the garden, what happened there? His friend has come over to meet him, and both of them have decided to go on a bicycle ride. The author's friend inquired about his bicycle and then gave it a shake, holding its front wheel and the fork, and after a while the man took out the front wheel of the cycle while the author was away for a while looking for a hammer. The bicycle inspection and its repair work has started. The author insisted on putting on the various parts of the cycle in place, but his friend wanted to check the front wheel. He unscrewed something, and from somewhere around a dozen of ball bearings came out. His friend insisted that the author must collect all of them, else the bicycle might not be resorted to its old condition. The author collected around 16 of them and kept them in his hat. The author's friend now started taking off the gear case. The author warned him not to mess up with the gear case, but his friend said that nothing is as easier as taking off the gear case. He took it off easily, but had a nightmare while fixing it back to its place. His bicycle, which was until now in good condition, was now lying scattered, divided in many parts. The author wanted to stop his friend from causing further trouble, but he admits that he is weak at hurting others. Then it was the time for the chain, which he tightened to an extent that it stopped moving. He then loosened it until it became twice as loose as it was before. Then what happened, children? In the last, his friend has dismantled all the parts of the cycle. And what about the cycle ride? So they have not discussed anything about the cycle ride, but initially they had planned this day for a cycle ride. But instead of checking only the front wheel, his friend had put all his cycle into different pieces. So now after a tough process, the cycle was again mended properly in its different parts. It had been removed in different parts, and now they are trying to fix it back. So what happened? After applying his tricks means his friend had applied lot of tricks on the cycle, and the author's friend seemed to be contented and now wanted to put all the pieces back into their place. It took lot of time. It was time consuming. The process revealed that his friend was an inexperienced and knew nothing about repairing a bicycle. He was struggling to fix it. After a lot of time, finally they both were able to fix the parts of the cycle properly. The author took him to his back kitchen, where his friend cleaned himself, and then the author sent him back to his house. So what happened to the cycle ride? Did they go for a cycle ride? No, they were not able to go for any cycle ride. So the whole time was spent in fixing the cycle properly. But did the cycle have any problem, or it did not have any problem? Then why the cycle was repaired is the question. So the title of this chapter is apt for this: a bicycle in good repair. So whatever has happened, the cycle is again repaired. Now what do we learn? What do we understand from this chapter? As we read this chapter, we understand that the author was a very timid boy. He did not want to hurt the feelings of his friend. But we should also remember that when we don't have any proper knowledge of anything, we must not jump to help others, and we should always understand the sentiments of others. That is what we read, or that is what we can understand through this chapter. So children, as I told you that the author's bicycle, which was in a good condition, was lying scattered, and it was divided into different parts, as author wanted to stop his friend from causing further trouble, but he has admitted that he is weak at hurting others. The process revealed that his friend was inexperienced and knew nothing about repairing a bicycle. Now let us continue this explanation in our online class and discuss about the few words given in the textbook, that is the meanings of words like stiffly, solemnly, ravages. Let us discuss the meanings of these words and some extra question answers, and continue with the exercise, textual exercise given on page number 129. So I want all of you to keep your textbooks ready so that we can complete the textual exercise. So thank you for listening to this video.